Just give me a few minutes. We'll get started on this shit momentarily. First, James is gone completely off his rocker. Well, that's expected of him. Alright, so we'll play that song again. Just give me a few minutes. I'm gonna get things set up. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I think we can start now.
I'm not dreaming of a white Christmas. I just like Christmas.
Miramax Films is proud to present one of the most celebrated motion pictures of the year. The winner of the 1994 Palme d'Or, the best picture of the Cannes Film Festival.
Come on, let's get in character. I'm so interested in Big Man's wife. Well, he's going out of town, Florida, and he asked me if I'd take care of her while he's gone. Take care of her? No, man. Just show her a good time, make sure she don't get lonely. You see, this is a moral test of oneself.
I do believe Marcellus, my husband, your boss, told you to take me out and do whatever I wanted.
Whether or not you can maintain loyalty.
Night of the fight, you may feel a slight sting. Pride only hurts. It never helps. In the fifth, your ass goes down.
I have to say, you play with matches, you get burned.
We should have shotguns for this kind of deal.
We're in a lot of danger, aren't we?
I'm prepared to scour the earth for that moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Get down, get down.
You got a corpse in a car, minus a head in a garage. Take me to it.
Don't you hate that?
Hey, what?
Uncomfortable silences.
Starring Mary Barone. 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 And Mary Barone.
Die, you mother!
In a new film from Adonis Ball. Sulk Fiction.
It's for a potato.
I helped hide a body. I was helping him hide her body. I was guilty of murder. They did not find my DNA. They did not find my fingerprints. They did not find me. Yes, I did what he told me to do to earn his trust. So I was guilty of murder. Anything that I did afterwards, I just murdered a woman. And he had already murdered somebody else and shown me her body. I was okay with it. And as soon as I got away, I went to the police. And I pretended like told them everything. All of you are saying that you just want justice for Roberta. You just want people to know the truth. You just want justice for a potato. But you want justice for her. Why would I not be in prison? There is literal evidence. There was absolutely no evidence to call me a murderer. Because when they did the investigation on her
Well, everyone, it's time to get this shit started. Welcome, everyone. I am Rickzilla, and as you now know, I have finally made my own custom-made VTuber avatar, as you see in front of you. It's not much to look at, but... or at least it is better to look at. I know some people like the rock monster, but this kind of suits me better. Besides, this one I can actually have I can use for like a transparency. Okay, that didn't sound right, but I don't care. We are back, and this is going to be another Merry Sunday. And now that Christmas is right around the corner, this is gonna be some festive shit. I know. Okay. Okay, the Batman. It is. This is the new avatar. There he is. Now you see me. A powerful glory that I am. Anyway, we're getting off sidetrack. We're getting sidetracked here. Our first video in tonight's Merry Sunday stream will be one that picks up where she left off. And she is talking about how, oh, everybody is being mean to her. You know, it's the same bullshit. She goes around saying that the YouTube taking down the YouTube getting rid of the dislike button isn't enough for her. She has to destroy other people, destroy her haters, or something like that. Excuse me. Typical Adrasdia bullshit. And what better way I should implement? Oh, good. I got some Christmas music in. Anyway, let's get started on this shit, because we're gonna be having some fun with this purple-haired sociopath.
Yeah, I need to get my but that doesn't make what I said any less true. So here's the last thing I want to say on the issue, because I talked about it yesterday, and it upset me all day yesterday because I'm fucking
insane.
This is my life.
Yeah, it's your life.
This is my life. For the rest of my life, this is how I'm going to be viewed and treated and spoken to because of people that lied about me.
No.
And I want to bring back one thing.
Oh boy, here we go.
Because when this all began, I called them Nazis. I referred to them as Nazis. And that's what made them the most angry.
You called Adonis Paul Hitler. And one of the reasons why you called them Nazis was because, well, they were pointing out the obvious that you were facilitating child rape when you were still married to Steven. And of course, you go on saying that Steven is transgender, and then you were trying to use this story that Steven was transgender as a way to validate yourself and validate your virtuehood. To make yourself look virtuous. I'm sorry. But from what I've been told by one of my buddies in Discord is that Steven wasn't really transgender. She just made that up to make herself look more important. Then again, I don't know whether or not Steven was transgender or not. The point is, you helped facilitate the sexual assault of a minor. And, you got called out for it. So, what was the first thing that you would use as a way to dehumanize your so-called detractors? Oh, I know. You called everyone who basically gave you shit about the whole ordeal Nazis. You called Adonis Paul Hitler. And you painted a big bullseye on the back of your ass.
Right. It boiled their blood that I called them Nazis. What is it that the Nazis did? They deemed themselves more powerful than other people. They deemed themselves more worthy of other people. They deemed themselves the judges of who is worthy of life. One group of humans decided that they were inherently better than another group of humans, And they went out and they looked at people and they decided who they decided was worth life, who they wanted on their planet. Only the best, only the smartest, only the best looking, only the best, only people who were exactly like the Nazis. Exactly like the people who saw themselves.
So, Adrazia, are you insinuating that we invaded Poland? Because that's what the Nazis did. Are you insinuating that we conducted inhumane experiments on humans? Are you insinuating that we are a master race? Or actually, Adonis Paul's people. Are you insinuating that Adonis Paul's people are a master race? If that's what you think a Nazi... Because that's what Nazis actually did. They saw themselves superior above everyone else. What we did was we called you out on the stupid, irreprehensible, and convoluted bullshit that you keep spewing. And you wonder why nobody is going to pay attention to you, Adrazia? It's because you say stupid shit like this. Of course you're going to get flack for sensitive topics like this. For sensitive topics. Of course you're going to be called out. But instead of actually taking the criticism, instead of trying to better yourself and try to avoid saying this type of stuff, you double down on your self-perceived victimhood, hoping that someone somewhere is going to care about you. You have burned every bridge imaginable. You have burned every bridge, and you pretty much pissed off almost everybody who comes in contact with you. Your family, people who used to be your friends, your supporters, your doctors, and of course, people on the internet are upset with all this crazy conspiracy bullshit that you keep spewing. Honestly, I don't know what goes on in that myopic head of yours, but all I know is that it's not good. None of this is good.
As superior and saw themselves as able to make that decision. Now, what is it that these people that are harassing me do? They go out, they see themselves as superior. They see themselves as able to judge and decide who else in this world is worthy of life. They see themselves as able to decide who actually has a mental health issue, who deserves a home, who deserves love and respect.
Clearly not you, Mary. Clearly not you.
This group of human beings in 2021, this is not Nazi Germany, right? In 2021, a group of human beings decided that they were superior, and they spent an entire year mentally breaking down a woman that they found inferior, telling that woman that she's worthless, that she's ugly, that nobody cares about her, nobody wants her, nobody loves her, nobody ever will, dragging in her family and getting her family to verbally assault her with lies. Their proof of everything, all of their proof is lies.
Honestly, Who is she talking to? Who is she really talking to? Clearly, she's not talking to us. Who is her targeted audience? Is she trying to, I don't know, turn this around? The amount of stupidity from this woman is beyond astounding. I mean, I thought Von Helton was delusional. I thought Shani was batshit crazy, but Adrazia, I mean, she takes a cake. She takes the cake.
And denial from an abusive family that is too ashamed to be honest. And that they're going to hell for it. I can't do nothing to force my family to be honest about the hell that my childhood was. But God can. So, Kathy can sit up there and tell y'all all about the fucking $50,000 lawyer and how wonderful my father was. No. He never did anything to anybody, except for that 13-year-old that he tried to rape who had to crawl under the house and escape from him. That never happened, though.
Are you talking about the 13-year-old that tried to buy weed off your dad? Are you talking about that 13-year-old? Because that was the only crime your dad was guilty of. Your mother, on the other hand, has a number of convictions. And I don't have the time or patience to go through them all. At least not at this moment.
Nothing ever happened. As long as nobody knows about it, as long as more people deny it than are willing to talk about it, it never happened. You decide what's allowed to be real and what's not. You decided what my life was. You decided. You. Not me. You. The Nazis. The people that see themselves as superior.
Don't call me a Nazi, Adrazia. Don't call anybody. You don't get to call anybody a Nazi, Adrazia. I mean, you're going around trying to get everybody who gives people who basically mocks idiots like you booted from this platform. You're trying to deplatform people who do reaction videos. You're trying to purge YouTube of the reaction channels who basically just laugh at people like you because it's all for entertainment. Honestly, I don't know what happened to you back when you were a child. All I know is that you decided to turn yourself into this punching bag. You decided to go online and make an ass out of yourself. You decided to write those pamphlets you call books and claim to be a legitimate author, and you expect to be paid for some phony childhood that wasn't even yours to begin with. You expect to be compensated for, I don't know, making up stories, trying to slander your own family, your own flesh and blood, in some vain attempt to garner some leniency. You think that YouTube is gonna give two flying fucks about a mentally unstable narcissist who blames everybody but themselves for all their own failures, you're dead wrong, Mary. No one's gonna give a fuck about you. You pretty much pissed everyone who has ever been associated with you. You just pissed off everyone. Even your family. They had no choice. Well, actually, no. They made the decision to go on Daywave to point out all of the bullshit that you kept spewing about them.
And able to make those judgments. You see yourself as able to tell me that I'm ugly because you believe that you are the best judge of what beauty is. You see yourself as able to tell me that I'm not crazy because you see yourself as the best judge of what crazy is. You see yourself as able to say that I wasn't abused because you see yourself as able to judge what abuse is. You see yourself as able to judge what another human being is. That's literally Nazism.
No, Mary, that's not being a Nazi. That's being altruistic. That's a word you probably should look up. I mean, you did write 2 books. You did have 2 books published, which of course consisted of grammatical and spelling errors, as well as some inconsistencies with her narrative. You claim to be abused by your family since you were a child. Normally, someone who comes from an abusive household would thrive and even overcome that obstacle in their life and become a better person because of it. You, on the other hand, would rather drown in your own freakish misery in vain hopes that people around you will feel sorry for you. I'm sorry, darling. This is the internet. Expect criticism. If you don't like that, then I don't know what to say, Mary. I could tell you to get off YouTube, but given the circumstances, given the situation, that would be redundant. And I just found out you're not going to be homeless in January. You basically turned in your papers for your Section 8 housing. So I am starting to believe that this whole I'm going to be homeless thing is probably another one of your pathetic attempts at... sorry. I'm pretty sure that this whole I'm going to be homeless thing is just another one of your pathetic pity grifts. I mean, I've seen all 3 Mayo documentaries, and I know for a fact that this is a common theme. There is a common theme with each of those documentaries. You refuse to be held accountable for everything you say, for everything you do. And you keep complaining constantly how you are owed or you deserve better. And not to mention, you always threaten self-harm in hopes that, in hopes someone's going to give a damn. In reality, Mary, you just look even more insane than you already are. And that's saying something.
Literally Nazism. You people have decided that I'm not worthy of living and existing in the same universe as you because you decided. Who put you in charge? Who made you the superior person? Who decided you were superior? It wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
It fucking wasn't me because I don't see any people as being superior to any other people. All people are people. No matter what color you are, no matter what mental defect you have, no matter what you are. All people deserve love.
Don't speak for everyone else. Don't speak for, and most importantly, don't speak for the lolcows. I mean, you're not the spokesperson of all humanity. You're the last person to offer advice on how to treat others. Knowing how much you've treated your family, knowing how much you've treated your grandmother, and most definitely knowing how much you treat people who give money to you. You can't come on. You can't tell everyone who to love. What you're doing, what you're saying, what you're preaching, what you're boasting about is basically everything that you've described what a Nazi is. I kind of find it hypocritical that you say that all Nazis are believed to be the superior being. And what does that make you? And you're just saying, and you're basically demanding everyone to validate you. To, I don't know, demanding people to, I don't know, accept others who are just about as, I don't know, I cannot. The logic from this bitch is, it's gone. No.
All people deserve safety. All people deserve to have a place to sleep at night where they don't have to worry about somebody hurting them. These are basic necessities for human beings that you people want to deny me because you see yourselves as superior.
And now you make it about yourself.
It is the epitome of Nazism. Just because you're not actively shoving me into a gas chamber
Again, Mary, you're not the center of the universe. You don't speak for everyone else. True, everybody wants to be loved. But, Mary, you're incapable of love. I've seen how you treat your family. I've seen how you demonized Aunt Kathy. You're the last person to be preaching about love. And don't get me started on how you treated Roberta Laws, because that shit, because we all know how that went. You didn't even care about Roberta. You wanted Kenneth to get rid of her. You wanted her out of his life so that you two can continue your relationship. Don't preach to us about love. And let's not forget the fact that you didn't even care about that girl's safety when you drove your ex-husband to her house. You didn't care whether or not she ended up getting hurt. And you try and blame it on us? You try and go and call us evil? And let's not forget, you didn't even care about the people who make money covering people like you. You didn't care whether or not they end up losing their income. I mean, weren't you the one who flagged one of Adonis Paul's channels because you didn't like what he said about you? Weren't you the one that had Virgie's previous channel nuked? And weren't you the one that contacted Rotzi's sponsors because you didn't like what Royce Lopez said about you?
Doesn't mean that you wouldn't if you had a chance. Harassing me to the point that I'm going to be homeless again, contacting therapists and landlords and neighbors and everything else to make sure that a human being who spent 5 years on the street already will go back to the streets again. Because
spoilers.
You decided that that human being deserves to be on the streets. You decided. When do I get to decide anything about my goddamn life? When do I get to decide that I'm pretty?
When you decide not to play the victim and blame everybody else for all your own problems. Adonis Paul was right about you. You can't do everything for yourself. You can't do anything for yourself. It has to be someone else to do it for you.
When do I get to decide that I'm smart? When do I get to decide that I deserve everything that other human beings have? Food and a home and safety and security. But I never get to decide that for myself because the superior race has already decided that I'm worthless. And nothing I say will ever be believed. Nothing I do will ever be good enough. I published 2 books and y'all decided that they're not really books. They're not long enough. They're not good enough.
No. We didn't decide that those books were not good enough. The manual, the APA manual. Oh, also, hi James, it's AP. Posted this in the comments of this video. I published 2 books in all, and y'all decided that they aren't books. No, the APA manual decided by definition the crap you wrote was not a book. Take it up with them. I heard. And Cringe, Dr. John Cringe, PhD, said, I've heard some absurd explanations on this channel, but this is my favorite. I wish Mary would write a dictionary. I'd pay a lot for that. Hi, James, it's AP. Also wrote, I can't get better unless other people want me to get better. And this is why you fail. 0 self-accountability, self-discipline to make a change. Exactly, AP. I mean, I know you're probably asleep right now, but hopefully you catch the replay of this.
You're not good enough. And until I die, it's never going to stop. These people are never going to accept that I'm a human being worthy of love, worthy of living, just like they are.
Then start acting like a human being. Get a job. Get out of that stupid, crummy apartment. Make a name for yourself. Find something to do. Do anything. Instead of sitting on your ass and blaming everyone else for all of the misfortune in your life. It's not our job to take care of you. As much as it's not Aunt Kathy's job to validate your bullshit stories, it's not your grandmother's job to act as your caregiver. I mean, for God's sakes, Mary, you're 36 years old, and you're still acting like a fucking child. I don't understand why you don't do anything for yourself. Maybe you did come from a dysfunctional family, but not the one that you keep hammering, but not the one that you keep describing. Maybe you did have neglectful parents. But it's up to you to rise above that. Only you, Mary, can make the change. But you don't want to do that. You never want to do anything for yourself. Maybe Aunt Kathy was right. Maybe your Mima spoiled you to the point where you expect everyone to give you handouts. You're no better than Shani. As a matter of fact, you two are probably in the same field. You two are probably in the same league. Except Shani has kids who need help, who need to be removed from that environment. I'm glad you can't have children. Otherwise, you would have treated them the same way you treat everyone else. If you did have kids, CPS would have taken them away long ago. Because you don't have the necessities, or you don't have the mental capacity to actually be a responsible adult. You're stuck in this childlike mindset. I wouldn't even call you a woman. I wouldn't even call you an adult. There's a word for people like you, Adrasdia. It's man-child. And I think it's called man-child or woman-child in your case, or maybe in your case, a woman-child. But if we're going by the gender-neutral term, I would go by the phrase adult child. Or, as what Jordan Peterson would say, old infant. I know I shouldn't be talking about that hack. I shouldn't be talking about that hack, Mr. Peterson.
They can't, because they see themselves as superior. They see themselves as godlike. They see themselves as the best, the smartest, the most attractive, the best in every possible way. And they see me as something that is a blemish on their society that they won't get rid of.
I'm not gonna lie. The reasons why I don't use an actual face cam is because I'm usually not that good look. Actually, I am. It's just when I have a beard or a 5 o'clock shadow, I don't look my best. I don't usually look my best because I'm very sensitive about my looks. However, if I put like a light on, it kind of makes me look better. However, Mary, looks don't have anything to do with this. It's not about looks. It's not about your appearance. It's about what you are on the inside. And from what I've heard from your family, from people who knew you, from your, well, I wouldn't say your significant others, because you have no relationship. You don't know how real relationships work. But based on what everybody's been talking about, I could say this. You are ugly, Mary. On the outside, well, I wouldn't go as far as to say you're ugly on the outside because, well, you're not much to look at. But your attitude is much uglier than what you look like on the outside. You're basically uglier on the inside than you are on the outside. You go on trying to make everyone feel sorry for you. You try to act as though you're special and you deserve special attention. If you think that coming on YouTube and saying all this crap is gonna make people pay attention to you, then you're insane. If you think that you are owed some form of acknowledgement, you have nothing to prove. I mean, I've given you advice, Mary. I've given you some advice on how you can improve your channel. But I know you basically, every time I tried posting a paragraph in your recent videos, it's gone in seconds. I'm beginning to think that you've been deleting people's comments because you don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear people call you out for all the lies that you have said about them, about your family, and about yourself. You're not an abuse victim, Adrazia. You're a selfish, narcissistic, greedy, spoiled brat who refuses to grow up, who refuses to take responsibility for herself, and who refuses to be held accountable for everything she has done.
They are Nazis. Just because they don't carry the label anymore, they don't want the name, they don't want people to call them that, they don't stand behind that label, but that's what they are.
She looks more like Sloth.
Me.
Actually, she looks more like Sloth from the Goonies than Quasimodo to Batman.
And everybody else is just going to watch it happen. Because as they say, nobody cares, nobody loves, and nobody wants me to get better. Nobody wants to see me succeed. Everybody wants to see me die. Thousands of people are watching and rooting for another human being to no longer exist.
Hold on.
But if you call them Nazis, all hell breaks loose. What else can you call them?
Merc Recon said, Mary, you are sounding awfully superior. Kind of like your definition of what a Nazi is. Angelina Contessa Luisa Francesca said, you are literally watering down the meaning of the word Nazi by throwing an arrow at anyone that disagrees with you. Signed, Princess Angelina Contessa Luisa Francesca Banana Fana Bobesca. God damn it. Hi, James, it's AP. Said, did you get all the attention you wanted from this? Let it be known to everyone here reading comments. As predicted the moment I said I would never cover her again, she freaked out. This is proof Adrasia wants this attention, despite the pleas otherwise. And I said, don't worry, AP. I will leave her to me. Leave her to me. And other people. And other people who would want to chime in. And Jimmy Two-Tone said, she has no identity without you, Royce, JJ, and Hatman. It's sad, really. And I said, don't worry. She will get the attention she desperately craves. VMAX said, your use of the word Nazi is a slap in the face to all Holocaust victims and their families. You should be ashamed, but you won't be, as you have no morals, no moral compass. Exactly. Angelina Contessa Luisa Francesca said 6 days ago, unfortunately, no one gets to decide how intelligent or how attractive they are. Both of those things, like unemployment, require you to put in effort to either yourself in the form of makeup, exercise, and education. Signed, Princess Angelina. Oh my god, I love that. Do you ever question why you don't have friends and consider that maybe you should change your behavior? True. True. I mean, it's no wonder she doesn't have any support system. It's because every time she goes on these tangents, she tries to act like she's the superior being. And then she ends up breaking down, having emotional breakdowns, and playing the victim, threatening suicide, threatening her own life, in vain attempts that someone with half a brain and a heart of gold and a pocket full of money will come and save her. If she thinks she's gonna get sympathy from people on YouTube, then she's fucking crazy. No one owes her anything. No one should owe her anything. Oh, damn.
Merry Christmas to all.
That. Hey, Carlitos, what is up?
Okay, so I've only got about 4 more days of actually having a home. I'm ready to go. I've got everything packed up. I've got my backpack with the things that I think I'm gonna need. And I have just started kind of disposing of everything else, you know. The extra blankets and things that I'm not going to be able to carry, I'm just throwing them away. So that when they come to clean out the apartment, they won't have a hole to do. Easy enough, the front.
Oh my god. Mary, stop with this pity party bullshit. You're not going to be homeless. You're just not going to be homeless. You're just gonna go. You're just gonna walk outside in the. You're just gonna walk outside in the cold, hoping that you'll end up freezing to death. But it's LA. LA is not that cold. It's at least, well, even if it's around the ocean, you're not going to end up freezing to death. Because I know you, Mary. I know you. I know.
Every time I close my eyes, the best days of my life, those cold winter nights, and even though I
Yeah. Stop with this pity party bullcrap. The internet person says, you blame everyone else for your problems. If you start accepting responsibility, and your life will get better. But I don't believe you will ever do that. It's sad because the key to happiness is right in front of you, but you refuse to take it. Hi, James. It's AP says, Adrazia doesn't pay her rent for 11 months. Just decided not to turn in her paperwork because it's too hard. But somehow her homelessness is the fault of YouTube comments. Amazing. Hi, James. It's AP also said, some people don't even go to jail. They just kill people and get paid for it. Mad you didn't get paid? Oh, damn. Once again. And yes, and like what Adonis Paul said, Adrazia doesn't pay her rent. She hasn't paid her rent for 11 months. And you wonder why she's about to be homeless? Spoilers. She's not going to be homeless.
Our room is completely vacant.
And of course, we all remember how you left the condo when you had to vacate the premise. This might not be so different. And yes, I know, I'm bald in the back. Again, I was just rendering the VTuber. I'm just rendering the avatar.
It's just so frustrating, you know, that this has to be my life. All because of something that I didn't even do. I never murdered anybody.
You never murdered anybody? I do believe that. You didn't murder Roberta Laws. Kenneth McBride murdered Roberta. But, however, you provided incentive. You provided him with the incentive to get rid of her. Maybe you didn't do it intentionally, but maybe you didn't do it intentionally, but he already made up his mind. And you let him do it. You let him get away with murder. And you also helped bury the body in a shallow grave in the backyard. And waited 5 weeks to go to the police. You're just about as guilty as Kenneth was for that poor woman's death.
But they're never going to leave me alone. because they believe I did. Because my family said that, well, there was a $50,000 lawyer, and that's the only reason she's not in jail.
No, Mary, the only reason why you're not in jail is because Kenneth told the judge that it was all his idea. And he pretty much took the rap for you. He left out the part that you sent the emails telling him to get rid of Roberta. Even Adonis Paul knows that you didn't murder that poor woman. But you're just about as guilty as Kenneth was. As a matter of fact, the prosecutor, Rafik Eller, do I have to quote Rafik Eller again? I think I should. The prosecutor, Rafik Eller, simply said this phrase: if he was a loaded gun, he pulled the trigger. Your words, Mary. Your words were the finger that pulled the trigger on the gun that is Kenneth McBride. When you told him, metaphorically speaking, you pulled the trigger when you told Kenneth McBride to get rid of Roberta. You kept nagging him constantly, screaming, "Get rid of her, get rid of her." You were arguing in the truck about whether or not Kenneth should go through with removing Laws out of his life. And then he decided then and there that he was going to kill her. And you said, fine. Do it then. And you said, fine, get rid of her. And you agreed. You waited in the car. You waited in the truck until the deed was done. And then you two went to Walmart to purchase a shovel to bury her body in the backyard, inside a shallow grave.
Lawyer never existed. I'm not in jail because I didn't commit a crime. I didn't commit a crime, but I'm gonna be punished for the rest of my life for the crime that I didn't commit. I have to be homeless because I didn't commit a crime, and they're not going to allow me to have a home anymore.
I think Adonis Paul briefly touched on this in Mayo 3 when he said that Adrastia's only coping mechanism is to hold herself hostage, threatening suicide constantly in hopes that she would scare her detractors into doing what she wants. This is one of the times where this is one of her attempts. This is nothing new to us. This is nothing. Anyone who's ever reviewed Adrastia's content already knows that this is common. This is a common thing with her. Hell, even her own family has confirmed that this pattern of behavior has been, well, I guess her family details this pattern of behavior as it dates back to her childhood.
I can't have a therapist. I can't have a doctor. I can't. Because they'll keep contacting them. They'll keep harassing. They'll keep on until these people abandon me. I can't have friends. I can't have somebody to care about me. Because if anybody cares about me, they'll receive harassment and they'll receive death threats until they stop.
No, that's your fault.
Because there are thousands of people that are focused on ensuring that I never have a single happy day in my entire life.
Whose fault is that, Mary?
For a crime that I did not commit, but they believe I committed that I didn't. Meanwhile, people who actually commit crimes, they have decent lives. You know, people that murder people, they go to jail and then they have a home. They have a place to sleep, they have food, they're not being told thousands of times a day that they deserve to die.
Clearly, you've never been to prison. You've never been to prison. You've never watched true crime documentaries.
That they should just die, that they don't deserve life, that they're worthless, that they're ugly, that they're never going to be loved.
Once again, she's projecting.
Fucking... Some murderers don't even go to jail. Some people, they kill people, just flat out kill them, and they film it, and then they get paid for the rest of their lives.
Now you're calling us murderers? Don't rope the entire reaction community into this mess. We've got enough shit to deal with. People like fucking Shanny, G-Man, Von Helton. People like Chantal, Nikocado. We're not killing them. They're doing it themselves. They're putting their bodies at risk because they think that someone will feel sorry for them if they do this shit. They do it for attention. And there are sick fucks out there that will feed off their misery. What they do, people like Chantal Marie, people like Amberlynn Reed, Nikocado Avocado, Wings of Redemption, Shanny, you, Mary. What you people do is self-sabotage. That's what your lot in life is.
You know, like Philip Brellstrom. That's the man that murdered Daniel Shaver. He had a gun etched with the words, "You're fucked." And he mowed down a drunk, unarmed man in a hallway. And he filmed it himself. It was on his own body cam because he was a fucking cop. And do you know what happened to him? He now receives $30,000 a year in disability. Mental health treatment. The only thing he got in trouble for was having the words "you're fucked" etched on his gun because they're not allowed to change their weapons that way. That was it. They didn't do anything about him literally murdering a man in cold blood.
And what about you, Mary? You basically told Kenneth McBride to murder Roberta Laws.
They didn't do anything about that except give him a pension for the rest of his life to make sure that he could take care of himself. This is a man that actually killed somebody, filmed himself murdering somebody. And for the rest of his life, he gets $30,000 a year. He gets to do whatever he wants in his life. I never killed anybody. And I had mental health treatment that was taken away from me because people believe that I killed somebody and so I don't deserve it. And you're saying, well, we didn't take it away. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Because the
No, Mary. We didn't take it away from you. You decided to dox your therapist You decided to not go to your appointments. And of course, you decided to cancel your treatments. To cut all ties with your doctors and therapists. You remember the shower video? Do you remember when you were threatening to commit suicide or cut off all communications from the people that were treating you during COVID? You wanted to cancel your appointments, to cut ties with your doctors because they wouldn't let you take a shower in their office. And that article and that video was featured on In the Know. And they said a lot about you. You are codependent on everything that you've been given. In this case, you're codependent on attention, on validation. You're codependent on people like Adonis Paul, Royce Lopez, JJ Stoner, Hatman. You were codependent on your grandmother when she took you in. You were codependent on Kenneth for love and support. Like what Adonis Paul said, you don't do anything for yourself. From your Section 8 housing to your free medical care and your therapy, you've never worked for anything that you've received.
The facility that I go to, the hospital received so many phone calls and emails about me that my old therapist doesn't even work there anymore. Y'all completely ran her out of the building. Right? Like, your death threats, your constant harassment caused somebody who used to be a therapist to no longer want to be a therapist. You put her life in danger because she was helping me.
No, Mary, you doxed Kanisha. That was not cool. You've been doxing your therapist by putting her phone number out there for everyone else to see. People screenshotted that shit and started calling her. It's your fault, Mary, that you put her life in danger. It's your fault, not us. And it's also your fault. Let's not forget when you doxed yourself by filming yourself holding your electric bill with your address. Adonis Paul told you to take it down. But, of course, Dark Ninja was the one who posted your personal information on 4chan, claiming to be you. Adonis Paul has said that that shit wasn't cool. But, of course, Dark Ninja wants to hold the title being the ultimate troll. To me, I think he's just a piece of shit who needs to have his internet privileges taken away.
And I still haven't got a new therapist. They haven't assigned me one, probably because they're afraid to, because they know that the new therapist will also be harassed and receive death threats, because they're trying to help somebody that the rest of the world doesn't believe deserves help. Y'all contacted my landlord and sent them death threats. That's how I know that I'm gonna have to leave. Even if they figure out the Section 8 stuff, I'm still not gonna be able to stay here because for a year these people have been receiving death threats for housing me. They're not gonna extend my lease. Why would you? Why would you ever extend the lease of somebody who has caused you to receive death threats?
Once again, Mary, no one contacted your landlord. You haven't been paying rent for 11 months since you've been in your Section 8 housing. So once again, it's your fault that you're going to end up homeless. And even if you forgot...
I no longer receive mail at all. People come every day and they take my mail. I have no lock on my mailbox. They've given up putting one on there because it just keeps being ripped off.
Once again, Mary, that's bullshit. It's like it's the key fobs all over again. Remember when Shandy and Rev were crying about how someone stole their key fobs? This is her key fob story. Honestly, I would expect more from you, Mary, but fortunately, that's just asking too much.
Four more days of having shelter and then I'm back on the streets. And I know I'll never have a home again because people online have decided that I'm not worthy of having a home. There's no point in getting my medication filled because I don't have a doctor anymore. I don't have a therapist anymore. Sometimes I wish that I had done something, that I had committed a crime, that I had filmed myself doing it, and then people would be paying me to have a life instead of telling me that I don't deserve to have a life until I could.
And by the way, this was on December 14th. 5 days ago. 5 days ago, this was filmed. She's still in that Section 8.
Confess to the crime that I didn't do. And they're never ever going to stop. Until I am dead, I am going to receive death threats. I'm going to receive the hate and the harassment.
What is she gonna do? What's she gonna do? Is she gonna do what she did? Is she gonna do the same thing she did earlier this year when she was walking around LA screaming, "Why won't I die?" Is she gonna jump off the overpass? Is she gonna threaten to jump off the overpass with a sign that says, "Adonis Paul did this to me"? What's she gonna do? Because I know what she's alluding to. She's done this before. So many times she's done this before.
There is absolutely no hope for me to ever have any sort of life. Even if I make a friend, even if I find a home, I know that the harassment will never end. I know that I will wake up every single day knowing that there are thousands of human beings in this planet that genuinely want me to die.
Spoilers.
And it's all because of a crime that I did not commit. But they can't even acknowledge now that they were wrong. Like, if you look at the Kiwi farm site, you'll see Blissey saying, oh, well, if I'm wrong about this, I'll feel real bad for everything that's happened. That's why they can't be wrong about it, because they can't risk feeling really bad for the last year of torture against an innocent person.
Once again, I've only known you for like, hold on, let me count. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 9 months. I've only known you for 9 months, Mary. 9 months I've only known you. And in those 9 months, I see a pattern with someone who cannot, for the life of her, take responsibility for herself. It's always everyone else's fault that you're like this. That's basically how you see yourself.
So that innocent person has to continue being tortured because the people that made the claims that still have not proven them just can't swallow their fucking ego and say, look, we were wrong.
You can't swallow your ego. And what about you, Mary? You have a massive ego yourself. I mean, you keep talking about how everybody is mistreating you. Everybody is mean to you. Always projecting your own insecurities on everyone else. Shifting the blame on everyone else. You don't want to take accountability for what you do.
We said this person was lying, and it doesn't look like she was. That's never going to happen. They're going to keep doubling down on the fact that they think I'm a liar, and they think I'm a murderer, and they think all of these things. With zero proof. Oh yeah, my aunt said that there was a lawyer. She has not proven that there was a lawyer. Her words are not proof. If there was a lawyer, why is there absolutely no documentation of that lawyer? Why could she not tell you the name of that lawyer? Why is it not in the court documents? Why? If there was a plea deal, why is that not in the documents? Why is it not existed? If it existed, if it happened, why is it not there? Because they lied. And they can't back up their lies. But nobody cares.
They didn't say there was a lawyer, Mary. You did. You said there was a lawyer. You said that there was a lawyer. Not Aunt Kathy. So, who's the liar now?
Everybody believes them even though they have zero evidence to what they're saying. And every time I bring up evidence to what I'm saying, they discount it. They say, well, a neighbor's memory don't count as evidence. If a neighbor's memory isn't an evidence, then why is your word evidence? Isn't a neighbor's memory the same as your fucking word? Their word is the same as your word if it's not actually fucking documented? Isn't it the same? No.
What about the court documents? The court documents indicate that you have an involvement with the murder of Roberta Laws. Once again, I'm not saying you murdered her, but you were involved. You were an accessory to the murder. You didn't kill her yourself. No, you're incapable of doing that because you're a coward. You don't do anything for yourself. You never did. Because your grandmother taught you to shift the blame onto other people.
No, of course not, because if it's against me, it's obviously true, and if it's for me, it's obviously just made up, and that's how it works. Everybody wants me to be dead for Christmas so that they can all have a good holiday and not have to worry about their tax dollars keeping me alive for another year. That's why it gets...
Oh, the elephant music? I mean, elevator music. Yeah, that's the soundtrack by Twitch. I play it on here just so that I could, well, have something to play over because it gives me something to do. And it probably, I don't know. I just got some ideas from a video I saw on how to fix the way I sound on stream so that it doesn't sound like static or it doesn't sound loud. And to get rid of the background noise. This is basically background noise to me, because you probably would hear dead silence every time I'm not speaking. This is a, I guess you could say, retrieval. It's a remedy.
Worse, during the holidays, they think about all of their tax dollars that are going to feed somebody that they don't want to live, and it just makes them so angry. I promise you, your tax dollars are not going to mean nearly as much as you think they are. Their taxes they put millions into the army, into the military, into building bombs and getting prepared for a war that might never happen.
What is this, the 1930s? Lady, keep up with the times.
But it's the homeless people and it's the people on assistance that have to be judged and hated for needing a couple of dollars a month to help themselves survive.
Not all homeless people are like you, Mary. So, again, real homeless people are too hungry, too cold. They need a place to sleep. They need a meal to eat. People do help them. People donate money to them. People offer them a place to rest their heads, to get food in their stomach. There are rescue missions. There are homeless shelters. Not all homeless people are entitled like you. A real homeless person is too hungry and too tired to be entitled. You, Adrastia, are the outlier. I've seen homeless people.
None of you could live off of what I get. None of you. But it doesn't matter. Because I'm not meant to live. That's the point. You want me to die. I'm supposed to die. Everybody wants me dead. My entire family wants me dead. They need me dead so that nobody ever finds out what they did.
Please refrain to Mayo 3. Please refer to Mayo 3. She's pretty much saying the same thing over and over and over again. I honestly expect much.
I went out to get food, and I had an anxiety attack.
Here we go again.
And I just wanted to come home. And then when I got here, I realized that in a couple of days, I won't have a home to run to when I feel that way. It's all over. And it's not ever going to get better. Because everybody in the whole world hates me.
No, just a few people on the internet. Not the whole world doesn't hate you, Mary. Just a few people on the internet. Just your family and a few people. No one else in the nope, not 7.5 billion people don't hate you, Mary. Just a few. But then again, I wouldn't expect you to understand that since you have an extremely limited view on society. Even after 5 years of being homeless, you still don't understand what society is like. I'm beginning to think that your parents failed you. Actually, no, scratch that. Your grandmother failed you, Mary. She didn't teach you right from wrong. She didn't teach you how to be a better person. She pretty much spoiled you your entire life. And you still expect that even after she's gone.
Things that I didn't even do. And y'all don't understand. I wake up every day knowing that my own family wants me dead. I wake up every day knowing that there are thousands of people wanting to hurt me. I wake up every day knowing that my existence causes other people pain. My living here caused my landlord and his children to receive death threats. My having a therapist and being on medication caused my doctor and my therapist to receive death threats. My just existing, if anybody is in the proximity of me, will cause those people to be tortured endlessly because they were around me and they tried to help me.
No, Mary.
There's
No, Mary. The reason why people are distancing themselves from you is not because they've been receiving death threats from trolls. It's you, Mary. You're the common denominator in all of this. You're self-entitled. You're an entitled narcissistic bitch who expects everybody to feel pity for you. You don't deserve sympathy from anyone because you don't know how to feel any sort of remorse for anything you do. You have no empathy. That's pretty much it. So why should anyone show you in return any empathy in return?
so many people online that decided that I don't deserve help, that anybody that helps me is going to be threatened, is going to be put in danger, is going to be hurt. And my family will never have to answer for any of it. They will never have to explain who the lawyer was, where he came from. Like, they'll never have to explain any of their lies that condemned me to this fate. They lied. They went on those talk shows and they lied.
And after it was proven that they lied, they didn't have to accept it. They didn't have to apologize for it. All they had to say was, well, oh well. Everybody believes it, so what, right? Everybody believes it, so why should we have to accept that we lied? Everybody believes it, so why should we ever have to apologize? Everybody believes it.
Well, the reason why people do believe your family is because you're not a reliable source, Mary. So people have to go to the people that know you in real life. And that was your family. And from what your family has said, you're not a good person. You never were. You make up this made-up story about how you've been mistreated by your peers, by everyone around you. And you wonder why nobody likes you, Mary? Once again, only one common denominator in all this. That's you. You're the reason why people won't help you. You're the reason why you get so much scorn and ridicule from people on the internet. You're the reason why no doctor is going to help you. Unless you do something about it, unless you make the change yourself, things are never going to get better unless you do something about it. You have to make the change. Not your doctors, not your family, not your neighbors, and most definitely not your landlord. You have to change your behavior. But you don't want to do that, Mary. You think it's easier to beg and cry in hopes that someone will care about you. I'm sorry, ma'am. That's not how the world works.
And now I get to spend the rest of my life hated. I get to spend the rest of my days waking up knowing that nobody in this earth wants me to wake up. Nobody on this earth wants me to live another day. Not even me. What reason do I have to want to wake up tomorrow when I know that my own mother wants me dead? That my own mother's sister has been harassing with lies about me for months to convince people to kill me. Every day when I go out, I know that
Once again, Mary, I hate pausing. Once again, Mary, I hate pausing during this whole thing. But again, nobody wants you dead, Mary. Not even your family wants you dead. And most definitely not complete strangers on the internet want you dead. You, on the other hand, want yourself dead. Or actually, yes, but you won't do it yourself. You use suicide as some sort of crutch for people so that people will pity you. You're taking away the validity of actual suicidal people. People who do have actual suicidal ideations. People like myself. I've had Lord knows how many times I've had my bouts with suicidal ideations. And what you're doing, and I have been getting help in trying to make sure that I don't go into that dark place ever again. I have to make sure that I keep up to date with my medication. I have to make sure I have to see my doctors. I have to make sure that I do what I have to keep my mind at ease so that I don't end up in this situation like you, Mary. you're taking away you're making a mockery of people who actually do feel suicidal. And you don't care about that. It's always about you, Mary. It's always been about you. Honestly, what more can I expect from you? Selfish. You're ungrateful. You're greedy. And you are a spoiled brat. And I'm repeating myself, but I don't give a damn.
Everybody on the bus knows me. Everybody hates me. Everybody is waiting for the chance to get to hurt me because of what people have said about me online, and they're all just waiting to hurt me. But they have to do it legally. They have to wait until I get up.
The Batman, I'm sure I would answer that. I don't really have the knowledge about how much money she makes or how much money she receives. All I know is that her rent is like $48 a month. But she does receive welfare from the government. I don't know the estimation. I don't know the estimate. I'm pretty sure Adonis Paul or JJ Stoner might have some insight on that.
Upset and they could kill me and say it's self-defense or something, but I know that it's gonna happen. I know that they're plotting it. I know every time I go out that there are people staring at me and watching me and waiting for the moment that they can finally get rid of this stain on the earth.
It would be too easy to get rid of you, Mary. All we can do is just make a few phone calls to the men in the white coat, to the boys in blue, to put you in a padded cell for the night, until you can cool down, or a call from your doctors to get you 5350'd. But once again, that would take effort. But honestly, here it comes.
I'm getting messages saying, well, you already said you fixed that, so that you're lying because you said you fixed it. When? When did I ever verify that my housing situation was fixed?
Last month.
What I fixed was my general relief.
Exactly. Your general relief for your Section 8.
I got my general relief back. And they said that that the housing paperwork needed for me to have a verified income. That's what the general relief was. Yes, I got the general relief back. I never received anything to let me know that the housing accepted that. They never contacted me.
There's a video that you made on November 3rd where you said that you had everything fixed. So, again, it goes to show how much of a liar you really are, Mary. No one's going to believe you.
I do not receive mail, so if they sent me a letter telling me that it's been sorted out, I never received it because somebody steals my mail. And I do not recall ever making a video stating that my housing had been finished, that I had gotten that done. Yes, I made a video stating that my GR was back. I remember making a video about my GR and about my food stamps. I remember that. I'm accepting that. I'm not lying about that. I receive my GR and my food
That's
stamps
the
now.
idea.
I get
That's the
$200
thing.
in food stamps. I get $200 in cash.
And your rent is $48 a month. But you haven't been paying it for 11 months. So you've been lying about that because dude.
That is a thing. That exists. That is happening. That is true. I have accepted that. I posted about that. I talked about that. That is what I got figured out. That does not mean that the housing authority accepted the paperwork as late as it was and renewed my Section 8 voucher. Even if they did, it does not mean that the landlord is going to accept me as a tenant for another year after a year of receiving death threats.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. But again, you still lied about being home, about to be. Sorry. But again, Michael Hatfield said, "Did you report your mail being stolen? That is a federal crime, and postmasters do investigate stolen mail. Mail service has been erratic in major cities. Also, you have a small percentage of rent you are supposed to pay, and that's why you are hiding from your landlord. Also, if you were being evicted, you would have got multiple notices weeks in advance. That's how it works." Hi, James. It's AP. Adonis Paul said, let's assume for once you are being honest. You couldn't be bothered to fill out 4 pages of paperwork. You deserve the boot. You're too lazy for even the minimum. That's true. She is fucking lazy. Yes. Adonis Paul also said, before making this video, where are you going to get called a liar? Did you ever consider going back and watching the video so you know what you said instead of, I don't remember? Again, Adonis Paul kept saying under the sock account. November 23rd, your video titled, "I finally did something right. Glad I could help." You specifically say, this will take care of your housing. This is why people call you a liar. But in any case, it would be your fault for trying to hold yourself hostage to the internet by threatening not to do it. Why would he accept you when you scream and yell at 4 a.m. and disturb everyone on the floor?
My landlord has a family, and you people have been threatening their family. You've been threatening their lives and their children's lives.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Platty.
But you think they're going to they're going to extend my lease when they're getting hundreds of death threats? Because
where's the proof? Where's the proof that your landlord has been receiving death threats? If that is true, then show the proof. But I know you won't. Because again, it's obvious that you're nothing more than a pathological liar.
Because I exist here? Not because I'm sending them death threats. Y'all are saying, well, it's your own fault. You're the one doing it. No! I never sent any death threats to anybody. I don't even speak to my landlord anymore. I'm afraid, I'm ashamed to speak to him because I know that they have been put through hell just for giving me a place to live. How do you talk to somebody that you know has been receiving death threats for a year simply because they're renting to you? And you're saying, well, no, you lost it because you didn't pay your rent. No, the government paid my rent. I don't know how many times I have to explain that. I am in a Section 8.
Your rent is $28 a month. And you're living, and you're on assisted living. You're basically leeching off the tax dollars of hard-working citizens. You're basically leeching off the taxpayers, Mary.
The government automatically paid them every month. It was not a situation where the government was giving me $1,000 and telling me to pay my rent. No, they paid it directly. That money never came through me. It was never an option for me to not pay my rent because the government is automatically paying it for my Section 8. I don't have the option to just stop paying rent. I'm not the one paying it.
Oh, so you admit that the government pays your rent. Or maybe that's another one of your lies. Are you saying that G-Man pays your bills too?
I'm also not the
So, is G-Man paying your bills too?
one sending death threats to everybody that helps me. I'm not the one that called up my hospital and threatened the lives of doctors and therapists there at a mental health facility. That was you guys. That was you guys. I'm not the one that has been doing all of this for a year. I'm not the one that is sending out these messages that is terrorizing and threatening people's lives if they continue helping me. That's you. You're saying it's all my fault, but you're the ones that are threatening. You're the ones that are harassing. You're the ones that are terrorizing. All I'm trying to do is exist and get help.
Prove it. Prove that you're getting help, Mary. Prove that you're seeking assistance. If you want to get help, get help. Go see your doctors. Make appointments. Stop with this whole pity party bullshit. You're only exasperating this delusion. It's causing you mental anguish.
If I ever made a video saying that my current housing situation was fixed, then I must have been extremely drunk because I don't remember making that video. I said my GR was fixed. I never said my housing was fixed. I couldn't have because I don't know that it is because I've never received any sort of verification.
And now you're making yourself sick.
Therapist is gone. I don't have another therapist that knows about the situation that I can contact to ask if they got it figured out. I don't know who to contact. I can't go up to the housing authority because they're locked down. It's all by mail and by phone and by email. I can't call them because every time I do, it goes to a number that doesn't exist. I got 3 different numbers in the last couple of months to call this woman, and it always says this number is not connected. So I can't call them. I don't know who to email. I don't know who to reach out to ask whether everything is fixed. I am literally sitting here and waiting to be told to leave, expecting me have to leave. I never said that my housing was fixed. I do not remember saying that. The fact that I got my GR back, and the GR and the housing are different. General relief is not a Section 8. A Section 8 is not general relief. They are two separate things. I needed one to get the other, but it does not mean that they accepted it once I got it because it took me so long to get it. It doesn't mean that I'm lying because I don't know what's happening. I rarely know what's happening. I'm fucking stupid. I don't know how to live. I don't know how to do anything. And that's something else.
Well, you are right on that one, Mary. You don't know how to do anything. Except cry, beg, threaten suicide, yada yada yada. You're pathetic, Mary. You don't deserve general relief. You don't deserve Section 8. You don't do anything to keep your current situation. You don't work. You don't have any hobbies. You don't have any plans for the future. Everybody, it's always someone else that does things for you. And it's always been that way since you were a kid. Hell, even Aunt Kathy has confirmed that this is a pattern that has never gone away. The reason why people are starting to distance themselves from you is because they know that this pattern of behavior is never going to go away anytime soon. You like this type of treatment. You like it when you expect people to give you what you want. You prefer to be a victim, wallow in self-pity, and beg for money because you think it's easier to be a bum than to be a functioning member of society.
That y'all don't agree with. It's just, you think I'm just making it all up, and I don't. I legitimately do not know how to function as a human being. That's why I needed help. That's why they got me the Section 8. That's why I'm on medication and why I've had therapists.
Once again, Mary. It's all because of you. And now let's hear, and this is from today.
So every single time I try to give one of you a chance, it proves to be a mistake.
What?
You take my life and then you create your own portions of it to demonize me.
Nope. That's all you, Mary. You demonize everyone else, so...
You say, well, she must have been on a highway or she wouldn't have been... No, I wasn't on a highway. I told you the exact area where I used to stand. You can look it up. I stood on the corner, on the sidewalk, waiting for the light to change. When the light changed, I walked up the line of cars that was stopped, and people would hand me money through the passenger window. You act like it's impossible for people to hand money through the passenger.
Yes.
You act like it's impossible for me to
yeah.
not be the same people that you see out on the freeway, smoking crack and meth.
You do that too.
Demonize my marijuana use when it is not a demonic drug. I use it to control my mental health issues that I do not have control of.
No, Mary. You're addicted. You're addicted to marijuana. That's why you're that's why you're always out on the street corner begging for money, because you're addicted to marijuana.
That does not make me a drug addict. It does not make me a bad person. Here in California, there's actually There's actually something called the secret handshake, where literal drug addicts, people that do like heroin and meth, can get a gram of weed for free to help them through their withdrawals from the harder stuff that they're on. It's been known to help with the withdrawals from harder drugs.
Yeah. CBD. In the forms of CBD. As a matter of fact, I mean, I could be sponsored by CBDX, but gummies in the form of CBD gummies, oils, hemp. It's useful in that way. You, Mary, walk the street corner offering yourself in exchange for money so that you can buy pot. So, yeah. When the way you're using marijuana, it's clearly it's not medicinal.
It's also been known to help extremely with a lot of mental health issues. That's why it's legal in California. It is a medication. And it's the only thing that I want to do.
You want to
I don't have to smoke weed.
So you want to get high all the time and ignore your responsibilities? I would say, you know, Mary, you can work at a vape shop. You can work at a repository. Or depository. You can work at a repository. You can work at a CBD store. But I know you, Mary. You're going to pass all those opportunities up. Just like with Gasuba, which I'm pretty sure fans of, I'm pretty sure you people who've watched Moonbear stream already know. She pretty much does the same thing with Adderall. You don't really need weed, Mary. You're addicted. You don't need it to treat your fake mental illness. You're addicted to it. You're addicted to marijuana, Mary. There's a difference.
In California, I could easily find some meth.
That's true.
Crack or some morphine. I was actually given morphine once. What the guy?
Oh, it's a dispensary. I keep calling it a depository or repository. I don't know. It's a dispensary or dispensary. It's a dispensary. You're right. She could work at a dispensary, but she won't.
Chris, the guy that lived with me for over a year, he was on meth.
Were you?
I could have partook in it at any time.
You look like a meth head, Mary.
You know why I didn't? Do you know why after 5 years of being homeless, being on those streets, having it readily available where men would come to my tent selling hard drugs in the middle of the night?
If I'm not mistaken, you were addicted to morphine pills. That's why you can't have kids. Morphine is bad for you, Mary. You were addicted to that shit, weren't you? You were threatening your life. You were threatening suicides to scare your grandmother to give you money so that you can buy drugs. And I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about the hard shit.
They would go tent to tent. Y'all know why I never went back into that life? Yes, I say back into that life because I was a hardcore drug addict for like 3 years.
That's true.
Between 2009 and 2013.
You threatened self-harm.
They were hard years for me. I won't go back to it. I use marijuana because it helps.
Yeah, but you're addicted to it.
To be a drug addict. Like you are creating. You are creating me to be the drug addict that you want me to be. And I could easily go back to that life. Okay? It's ingrained in my personality. I have an addictive personality.
That's true. You admit.
And the drugs out here are everywhere.
And once again, it's not drugs that you're addicted to. And I'm not calling you an drug addict. You do have an addictive personality. That is true. You do. You are an addict. And I am saying that you are addicted to marijuana. But you're also... And that's why you would always keep begging money to get your fix. I'm not saying that marijuana is a drug. I'm just saying that... I mean...
Readily available. I have literally found meth on the sidewalk before. I choose not to do those drugs. I choose to take the medications my doctor provides me and smoke marijuana. And you demonize me for that.
Suppository, yeah.
And you don't understand how hurtful that can be to somebody who actually had those problems and could easily fall back into them. And nobody has ever been, nobody's proud of me for not being on the drugs that I'm not on. They just hate me for the ones that I use, which is literally marijuana that's legal. I used to be on a lot more. I could still be on a lot more. I'm choosing not to. And you're choosing to demonize me for it. It's messed up. It's hurtful. And you have to...
Adonis Paul said, "We weren't wrong about you lying about being evicted, were we? We weren't wrong about you panhandling for cannabis money, were we? We weren't wrong about you reporting my Patreon, were we? You mess with people's money, you have two options. Leave or war. You chose war. I hope you enjoy your choices." God damn it, Adonis Paul. You owe me teepee for my bunghole. You owe me the teepee. But I know damn well that teepee will belong to Lake Titicaca soon. And I know you, Adonis Paul, I know you say you don't have a bunghole. And you want to know how I know that's the real Adonis Paul? Because the real Adonis Paul is a gringo. And he has no bunghole. He's a gringo. And he has no bunghole. Bungholio. Poon Gobbler said, "She killed her own grandmother. Now she's surprised people don't like her." Now don't say that. She tortured her. Smoking cannabis doesn't make you a drug addict. I love cannabis. Sleeping with strange men for it and going around with a sign to get it makes you an addict. Real Donovan Schultes said, "Did you report AP's Patreon for bullying Mary? Because you say you never did anything to anyone. But you go after sponsors, people's patrons, report Virgie's channel, their income. Then you cry when they expose you and you don't get donations. When you mess with people's money, they will dog you forever." That's true. Real Donovan Schultes, you are right. Don't mess with people's income. And M. Stone said, nobody is demonizing your use of cannabis. When you buy weed, you don't buy tampons, etc. That's what people have a problem with. And it's recreational use. You are not prescribed cannabis. You live in California. How do you know that? AP said, you literally started your report to Patreon with, I am a homeless, mentally ill woman. We have the report. Someone hacked you and leaked it. Oops. And real Donovan Schultes said, aren't you supposed to be homeless right now? Liar. You're caught in a lie, Mary. Or as what Emo Howling Wolf would say, you're caught in a lie, Mary. You're caught in a fucking lie. It's royalty free. Oh, come on, to Batman. It's royalty free Christmas music.
You have to create things to hate me for. You know, you had to create the scenario where I was out.
Oh, come on, to Batman. I was being festive. The holidays are coming. The holidays are here. I decide to be festive. And you're giving me shit for it? Oh, come on.
Standing on a highway, being aggressive to people with a dog. That was somebody else. That wasn't me. I told you where I was. But that wasn't good enough because you can't demonize.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true, Platty. You're an evil fucking woman!
I'm telling you.
And she is an evil fucking woman.
Take it as the truth. You can't hate me for it. You can't demonize me for it because I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong, Mary? You didn't report Adonis Paul's Patreon, did you? You didn't go and try to, report Adonis Paul's Patreon by saying, I'm a mentally unstable woman and Adonis Paul has been bullying me for 11 months? You try to mess with his income. You try to go and say that these people are trying to kill me, are trying to kill you. You're saying these people are trying to kill you, and you're flagging people's channels. You're going after people's sponsors. You're the one messing with people's money, Mary. And you're surprised that no one is going to feel sorry for you?
I still haven't done anything wrong. It's consistent. No matter how many of you take.
All right, see you later, Platty.
Videos, you're always doing the same thing. You'll take my videos, you'll take my words, and then add your own to create the crime.
No, that's you, Mary.
And you'll say, well, okay, so maybe your sign didn't say you were homeless, but you told the phone guys that you were homeless, and so that means that you must tell everybody you're homeless.
Yeah.
You're creating that
in
your mind. Because you heard me tell one person who I was extremely upset with and having a breakdown. In your mind, I tell everybody that I'm homeless.
No. There's video footage of you saying that. And also, we've seen this pattern before. Remember May? Remember back in May when you were walking around LA in saying that you're going to starve yourself to death? Remember when that homeless person gave you his Capri Sun? knowing that you have a fridge full of drinks. You just took that drink from him. So, yeah. It's not because you're addicted to marijuana. It's because, again, you refuse to hold yourself accountable for stupid things that you say or do. That's why nobody likes you.
That's not the truth. When I'm having a breakdown,
which is all the time,
I sometimes say things that even I don't understand. I'll be honest. Okay, I spent 5 years homeless, and a big part of my mind is still homeless. I still have those same anxieties and fears and thoughts that I had when I was homeless. So when I'm breaking down and having an explosion on somebody and saying things like, well, I'm homeless, it's possible in my mind I think I am at that time. Like, y'all don't even understand the changes in the brain chemistry when somebody is having a breakdown like that.
Mary, don't explain psychology. You're not good at it.
But just because I said that to the phone people, it doesn't mean that I say that to anybody else. Because when I was out there with my sign that said anything helps and did not say homeless, I was stable and trying to stay that way. I wasn't out.
Wait a minute, Mary. You said on December 12th that you were going to be homeless. This was filmed yesterday. And you're still living in that Section 8 apartment. So once again, Mary, who's lying?
Lying. I wasn't out freaking out. I wasn't out panicking.
Yes, you were.
I was walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard wearing a sign saying anything helps. And y'all mixed the two situations.
Anything helps. You're constantly e-begging. You're constantly e-begging, knowing that people with half a brain and a heart of gold is going to give you money. You're taking advantage of people's hospitality. That's why we're upset with you. You're a grifter, Mary.
Together to create me walking down the boulevard with a sign saying homeless.
Gangsta.
And you don't even understand how fucked up it is when you can take the separate situations and mend them together and then tell everybody that your melded version of the truth is the truth.
Mary.
You're only doing it to demonize me.
Once again, Mary, you lie so many times that you don't even know what the truth is. No one is going to believe you because you have been known to be an extreme pathological liar.
And I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to listen to it. I gave you a chance because you were a channel that I had never seen before. And you proved to me to be exactly like all of the other channels. Hateful, judgmental, and you refuse to be wrong. You had to create me being out on the highway with a dog because it's the only way you could see it as being something that was a problem. It wasn't what I was doing. And the police will stop you sometimes, even if you're not causing a problem.
Accomplice.
Whatever. I won't come back into your video. I don't want to have anything to do with you.
I won't come back into your video. You were never in the video. I just play your shit and commentate on it. But you're too fucking stupid. And here's Mary with the more projection. I love it.
Okay, so the new accusation is that I took down Adonis Paul's Patreon, but I didn't. I don't.
You reported it. As said, Boom Gobbler says, Boom Gobbler. That's a weird flex, but okay. But despite being technically accurate, myself, you don't think you understand what you just
do Patreon, but I didn't. I don't do Patreon.
That's true.
I have only reported Adonis Paul a couple of times. I reported a couple of the videos that he posted to YouTube.
And we're threatening his income.
I reported some emails, some comments. But as for going outside of YouTube or outside of the emails that I've been sent or outside of the comments that I've been given, I'm not seeking you people out to report you.
Tell that to Royce Lopez's sponsor. Tell that to Virgie's channel.
So your Patreon, I didn't mess with. I didn't know you had one. I did not report it. Your Twitch, did not report it.
He doesn't use that.
Streamlabs, whatever. Anything that's not YouTube or email.
I'm gonna read what Adonis Paul said. Thanks for the confirmation of a few things. We didn't know if you did or not, but I know you well enough to know when you are lying, and I believe you this time. Different confession than we were hoping to trick you into, but I'll take it. So you reported my videos, huh? Adonis Paul, you will give us TP. You will tell James Clark to sacrifice a roll of TP to the almighty Bungholio. For he has no bunghole, for there is only one bunghole. And here's what Adonis Paul says. You know how I know she's telling the truth for once in her life about the Patreon. She says sorry. I never heard her do that before except once. Ironically, the very thing is what she would give her the desired result, to be left alone. Yeah. Why didn't you say sorry? Well, actually, why are you still in the apartment? Yes, sure. Yeah. And yes, isn't she supposed to be homeless?
I didn't report. So I'm sorry if other people reported you and you got in trouble. It wasn't me. That's what I keep trying to make you people understand. I'm not stalking you. I'm not seeking you out.
Yes, Mary. You are seeking Adonis Paul out. In your little myopic brain, Adonis Paul lives rent-free in your head. So you'll go out of your way to try and ruin his income. You did the same thing with Royce Lopez. You did the same thing with Aunt Kathy. You're the one demonizing people. We're just fighting back.
To harass. I don't look for your videos.
Yes, you
I
do.
don't watch your videos.
Yes, you
so
do.
Why would I be reporting? And I know you're saying, well, we know it was you because we hacked your email.
True.
I don't know how that proves anything because I could show you my email and prove to you that I never sent the report. So, I don't know. Give me the date that the Patreon report was sent, and I will look through my emails, which apparently you have access to, which is not, I mean, you're admitting to hacking into it, so, that's just something else that'll be going into my files for the harassment, for the restraining order. You've admitted that you're hacking into my email accounts.
Once again,
but somehow you still come up with something that didn't actually happen to demonize me for and to attack me for. I did not attack your Patreon. And if it was taken down, I'm sorry.
Okay, good.
If your YouTube gets taken down, I'm sorry, but it's not my fault.
Yes, it is. Once again, Mary won't accept responsibility.
You know what the rules are, and you consistently go against them and then threaten the person that you're harassing if anything happens to you for it. Other people also watch your videos and pay attention, and they might report you because they might see something that they don't like. I'm not telling people to report you.
Yes, you did. You did tell people to report Adonis Paul. You did tell people to go after Royce Lopez. And, well, you went after ROTC's, you went after Revenge of the Sith sponsors. You went after one of the ROTC sponsors. And you pretty much reported people's channels. So, yeah. You claim you don't go after people? AP made a list of all the fucked up things you did to people who you believe are your enemies. You say we're antagonizing you? You say we're the ones harassing you? You claim that we're the ones going after you. We're the ones stalking you. But aren't you doing the same things that you're accusing other people of doing?
One time, I told people it was okay to report your YouTube videos if they were using my content because I had explicitly asked you not to use my content, that it was mine, and I didn't like the way you were using it.
Mary, your content is fair use. You don't have a cent to your name to have that shit privated. Once again, YouTube is not, once again, I have to say this. I said this last week, and I'll say it again. YouTube is a public platform. It's not your personal diary. Anyone and everyone with a phone, a computer, or any electronic device will find your channel.
That was the only time I ever asked anybody to report you, and I never asked again, and that was months ago. I don't interact with you if I have the option. I don't go into your streams.
Once again, you've proven to be a liar because you went into Royce Lopez. You went into like one of Daywave streams saying screaming, "You want me dead. I'm going to jump off the overpass and I'm going to say that you made me do this." So Who's the liar now, Mary? Clearly not us.
I don't seek you out. Like, y'all seem to think that I'm stalking and harassing you, but you're the ones that are in every video I make. You're the ones that are getting videos and pictures from people in the area to keep track of me. That ain't me. I post my life here. And I can show y'all my watch history on YouTube to prove that I'm not even watching your videos. I'm watching things like,
We don't care, Mary. And yes, you do watch you do watch our videos. Why else would you be responding to them? Why else would you make this video? If you claim that you aren't watching us, then why respond? Every time you say something, you're only digging yourself deeper and deeper. You're only digging yourself deeper.
that chapter, and Popo Medic, and Schrodinger's cat. And when I'm not online, I'm watching King of the Hill currently.
Oh, hell no.
I'm not seeking out you.
Dude, we don't want you. I don't want you anywhere near King of the Hill, Mary. I like that show. And Adonis Paul loves that show. Why else is someone pretending to be Chuck Mangione? Why else was there someone that goes by Chuck Mangione? Because I go apeshit for Chuck Mangione. He can't do that on YouTube, but he can do that on Twitch. He can show some King of the Hill on Twitch. And I love King of the Hill. Because it's made from the same guy who made Beavis and Butthead. And you and most people know that one of the things AP and I have in common is our love for Beavis and Butthead. Why else do you think every time I pay a visit to his streams, I always drop in a Cornholio quote? I always say, "You must sacrifice teepee for the bunghole," or "You will give me teepee." Because he knows that there is only one bunghole. The almighty bunghole.
I actively do not care about you. I want you out of my life entirely. So why would I be seeking you out on other platforms? That's you projecting onto me. Because that's what you do. And so you want to believe that's what I do because it gives you a reason to demonize me and hate me for the ramifications of your actions.
No, this is a whole no you argument.
If something was taken down because of a report, then likely somebody reviewed that report and decided that it was genuine. You can't just randomly take down channels by massively reporting it because you can. But if you truly believe you didn't do anything wrong, you can.
Isn't that what you did to Virgie? Isn't that what you did to Virgie's old channel?
Can down channels by massively reporting it.
That's what you did to one of Adonis Paul's channels. That's what you did to Virgie's old channel. You were flagging them nonstop, hoping that YouTube will terminate them completely because you didn't like what they said about you.
Because you can. But if you truly believe you didn't do anything wrong, you can file a claim and somebody will review it. If you filed the claim and they decided you really fucked up here, then
you did fuck up, Mary.
It's not the person that has reported you that's the problem. It's you.
No, it's you.
Making the content that goes against the platform that you are posting it to. But to be clear, I don't know what your accounts are on anything except for the emails and YouTube. I don't know who you are on Patreon. I don't know who you are on Reddit. I don't know who you are on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on OnlyFans. I don't know. I'm not looking for you. Do you know why I'm not looking for you? Because I have zero interest in you being a part of my life.
Dude. Adonis Paul said he was done with you. And yet you do stupid shit like this to get his attention. You do want him part of your life. Why else would you make this video? Why else would you report his Patreon?
Why would I seek you out?
You just want his attention. That's why. Sorry. Don't burden me with all your problems. There's only one bunghole, Mary. You will not have the teepee.
Okay, so the problem is that you people don't understand what the meaning of the word homeless is. See? Because down here, you'll say, well, I was in a shelter. How does that change that I was homeless? Well, because you had a room and a place to sleep.
You also slept in a car. You also lived in a truck, Mary. You pissed in a cup and you shat in a bowl.
Stop ignoring the fact that you pooped in a nipple bar, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. If you are living in a shelter or another form of emergency housing, you meet the McKinney-Vento Act definition of homeless. Now, what does my titty popping out have to do with whether or not I was homeless? Nothing. They simply want to shame me for being a woman. I'm sorry. You know, you're going to shame me for everything else in my existence. Why not shame me for being a woman that has breasts as well?
You're doing the same thing Shani did a while back. You're using the whole feminist thing. You suck at it. And you're not even a feminist to begin with, Mary. You're just a crazy person.
That's perfectly logical, sane reasoning. You people are sick.
You're sick.
I'm aware that for a brief second,
I am the
my
great
nipple
cornball.
popped out last night. I'm aware that hundreds of you have reported my channel and
Because YouTube is for kids. Well, actually, no. Because you don't put an age restriction on your videos, Mary. You don't put age restriction on your videos.
we're trying to take it down for nudity. I'm also aware that I have not received anything from YouTube about it. If they contact me, I will re-edit the video to take out that part. If they don't, I'm not going to do anything to it because it was there for literally less than a second. I didn't see it when I was editing it. And the fact that y'all can like replay that second forever doesn't mean that I intended for that to ever even happen. So the question...
You're an idiot,
The
Mary.
question you're wanting to know is why my breast exists, apparently. I'm a woman. They're there.
You don't look like a woman. You look like Cyrax in a blue wig.
All the time. Y'all don't get to decide that I should suddenly be ashamed
for being a woman, for having a woman's figure, for having a woman's assets.
Once again, you look like a toad. And yes, that's immature of me to call you a toad. But your eyes are spaced apart. You look like a horse toad.
I am a female. These are titties. For some reason, there's a very small centerpiece of those that is considered obscene and sexual. Because they
don't put a filter.
feed babies.
You don't put a restriction filter on your videos. That's true. They are disgusting. You should be ashamed because you basically don't put like a age filter.
Y'all are the most shaming people on the universe, and then you don't understand why my mental health doesn't get better.
Because you don't choose to make it better.
You never understand why my mental health doesn't get better when I'm constantly being shamed for every aspect of my existence.
Because you don't choose to get help for your mental illness. You use it as a crutch. And you're upset because no one's gonna feel sorry for you?
If I dress nice, because I like to look nice, y'all shame me for that.
Because you...
Whatever. I'm not ashamed of my nipple popping out. I'm not ashamed of the fact that I'm selling that video to people that want it. I would have posted it to OnlyFans to sell if people didn't take my content from there to give it away. I would have been posting content like that to OnlyFans for the past 6 months if people were not taking my content from there and dispensing of it for free.
Mary, no one's going to look at your OnlyFans. No one's going to pay top dollar just to look at your disgusting figure. I mean, like no one's going to pay top dollar just to see Rev's baby carrot when they could just share it around with everyone else. It's the fact that you want to be compensated for it is what makes it fucked up. What makes this situation even fucked up is that you want to be compensated for everything you do.
So no, I'm not going to be ashamed of it.
You should be.
I am a woman.
No, you're not.
A 36-year-old woman. I have breasts, and I am not ashamed if people see them.
Well, you should be. Because they're flabby, saggy, and gross. Like you, Mary. And I'm sorry if I sound immature, but fuck this bitch. She's more delusional than Shani. Actually, no, they're both on the same level of delusion. It's just one doesn't have kids, and the other didn't bury a potato.
Do you know why? Because it's literally the same as a hand, or a leg, or an ass cheek. It is a human
no one wants to see that
appendage.
Shit. No one wants to see either of those.
I don't see it as sexual. So why should I be shamed because you do?
You should be ashamed, Mary. Because nobody likes to look at that shit. Nobody likes to be. And now we see Adrasia the feminist.
Right.
Call me Bungholio.
You know, now your argument is that, well, that's only one particular definition of homelessness. And so There are other people that would believe that you were not homeless if you were in a homeless shelter.
Excuse
Because
me.
only the McKinney people think that that makes you no longer homeless. You are wrong. You are wrong. Staying in a homeless shelter means that you are still homeless. You are in an emergency shelter for the homeless. You do not automatically become housed just because you have a bed to sleep in an emergency shelter. Okay? From your logic, a homeless person could take shelter in a church during a storm and then decide that that was their permanent residence because they had shelter there at one point. No. Yes, I was in a homeless shelter. At that time, I was still homeless.
We know, Mary. We've seen the videos. We've seen the video of you filming a toilet filled with human excrement. Thank God Adonis Paul placed a clip of Beavis saying poop. Because no one wants to see that shit. And most definitely, no one wants to see the human feces on the shower floor. On the floor in the shower room. You just filmed that there.
Homeless shelters are still homeless. Nobody is housed in a homeless shelter. That's the point. It is an emergency short-term stay. It is nobody's permanent housing. That's why if you're in a homeless shelter, you are still considered homeless. Because if they change that to say, well, she was housed for a month, well, then the whole homeless thing gets taken away and you don't get assistance anymore. Living in a homeless shelter means that you are still homeless. Period. Living in a homeless shelter in any state would still mean you are still homeless. Living in a homeless shelter does not change your housing status. Y'all don't understand what homelessness means. You don't understand what shelters are. You don't understand that my living in a truck is not having a home. And it's frustrating as fuck to me because I've been doing this for 5 years. I was in a truck. I was in tents. And
we know, Mary. We've seen Mayo 1. We know the situation. We know that you shit in a bowl. We know that you took a shit in a... We know that you pooped in a bowl.
And y'all are just trying to discredit all of that by creating your own narrative.
No.
Your narrative is that the month I was in a homeless shelter, I wasn't really homeless. That's not the narrative for literally anybody.
No, Mary, you chose to be homeless.
Else that knows anything about homelessness or homeless shelters or emergency shelters. It says right here, those living in emergency shelters are considered homeless. The shelter I was in, all homeless shelters are emergency shelters. So, y'all just keep making up your own theories and then passing them off as the truth. This is what you believe. It doesn't mean it's the truth. I'm showing you the truth. You've decided to...
No, Mary. We got that from Mayo 1. We got that from the first part of Mayo.
You deny it and put your own in and then live off of that. Your argument that I wasn't homeless because I was in a homeless shelter is asinine. Absolutely asinine. You could Google in any state and find out that being in a shelter does not change the fact that you are homeless. So, let's just, these people that hate me, they don't understand homelessness. They hate marijuana. They hate titties.
No, we just hate you.
What are you? Like, seriously, what are you? You hate weed, you hate titties, you don't understand what homelessness is, you don't understand what a drug addict is because you call me a drug addict for smoking marijuana.
No, we just hate you as a person. Because you're vile, you're selfish, you're a liar, a manipulator, you like to gaslight people, in hopes that they will give you money. And on top of that, you are also an accessory to a murder. And you lied about it.
Which is retarded. Nobody, a real drug addict would be using a lot more than fucking marijuana, alright? And yeah, I just used the word retarded, and now y'all are gonna hate on me because I use that. Fuck you.
Well, you are. Well, technically, you are retarded. Because no functioning person
Okay, so something else y'all are confused about, because when I was in that shelter, I said that there were some people there that were there for...
Got one more video from her, and I'm going to call it a night.
That's because it wasn't actually a homeless shelter. It was an SRO property. SRO stands for Single Residence Occupancy. It's different than a homeless shelter, but it's also an establishment set up to help people who can't afford an apartment or might be homeless or for whatever reason. So technically, I guess you could say I wasn't even in a shelter. Since y'all want to be so nitpicky, well, you were in a shelter for a month. I was in an SRO, which is not the same as a homeless shelter.
It doesn't matter.
It still doesn't change my status because I was staying there in an emergency situation while waiting for my shelter, my housing to be completed. There is a difference between a homeless shelter and an SRO. The fact that all of you are confused and don't understand what these things...
Yeah, but from the videos I've seen in that SRO, you didn't like to stay there. I mean, they only had one bathroom. The only stall with toilet paper was the one that's filled with shit. And you filmed that, and nobody wanted to see it. Yes, you basically filmed a bathroom stall filled with shit. And not only that, you also filmed a shower room with a floor that is covered in shit.
Mean does not mean I'm lying. Okay? You know, your ignorance is not my fault. You could easily Google all of this instead of bringing up your lies and theories and spreading them and making me have to address them and fix them. Because, and even now you're gonna say, well, you never said it was an SRO before, you said it was a homeless shelter. Yeah, probably did.
Goes to show how much of a liar you really are, Mary.
But technically, it wasn't. It was an SRO. I misspoke when I called it a homeless shelter. Because it was technically not a homeless shelter, it was technically an SRO. So, my bad for misspeaking on that, but there's not that big of a difference. You know, y'all nitpick and split hairs over the tiniest little things, and there is very little difference. The SRO is just a different type of program set up to help people.
Poon Gobbler said, when you pin her down to a lie, she claims she just misspoke. To this day, Mary has never admitted she is wrong. I wonder why everyone doesn't like her. The D said, well, there you have it. I misspoke. Well, then you were wrong. Maybe not lying, just wrong. Admit it. Also, AP and Virgie are spreading your bath shame. Oh, God. Jimmy Jones Salad said, I would like to believe you, but as AP and Virgie just said while laughing at your nasty bath stuff, well, now she is a girl who sells her body online. Any credibility she ever hoped to have is gone forever. Nobody's ever going to forget it. And even if they do, we will send it to them. Yep. The bath. And yes, people are making fun of her chest. Oh, it's this one.
Sex.
I'm so glad I didn't show that one. Otherwise, I would have blinded myself. I would have bleached my eyes. No! I'm not going to play that. You don't tell me what to do. I tell myself what to do. And this is the last video of the night.
Work is work. Period. So,
Poopy.
Virgie and Adonis Paul have decided to shame me. Big shame. By taking the unedited video was bought by one person and apparently given to them, and putting it on a loop for hours and hours and hours, just mocking and laughing at a woman's breasts. What's funny about breasts?
Your bobs are sagged. Get it? Bob Saget? Shani calls them bobs.
What is mocking and shameworthy about a female owning titties and exposing them?
That video is edited.
See, maybe it's because I'm asexual. I'm not interested in men or female. Like I don't have sexual feelings towards either gender. So a tit is a tit, you know? A dick is a dick. An ass is an ass.
The thing is, no one wants to see your titties. But you put them out there on display. Unfortunately, I can't show the actual video. I don't have access to it. I don't have the unedited version of it. So sorry to press your luck, chat.
They're bodily parts that everybody has. But some people get shamed for them.
Because it's YouTube, Mary. YouTube has age restrictions. The fact you didn't put that video on private or unlisted shows that you don't even take the time to review the terms of service. Just like Kasuba, who basically films herself completely topless, you don't even put a filter or an age restriction on your videos. You just post it hoping that someone will watch it and take pity on you and donate to you.
I thought this would end after school. You know, I've had big ones since I was 12. And in middle school, the boys used to make fun of me and ask me if I was wearing a Wonder Bra, way back before they even understood what a Wonder Bra was.
Once again,
they didn't understand.
No one wants to look
why
at
they
your
were
garbage
making fun
bag
of them,
tits.
because none of us understood puberty. We make fun of things we don't understand or make us uncomfortable.
Once again, Mary, your tits are disgusting. And trust me, I've seen Shanny's garbage bag tits to know that that is not appealing. And you're no different. Sure, all breasts are blobs of fat. But some are perky. Others are firm. Not all of them are flabby, sagged, and gross like yours and Shanny's.
Right? So you understand 13 or 14-year-old boys yanking on a bra strap or making jokes about a Wonder Bra. But when you're 36 years old and there are adults attempting to shame you,
because no one wants to see that shit.
That is just very, very sad.
Because no one wants to see yours.
And I said earlier, these people have a problem with weed and titties.
No.
And
they have a problem with you.
Hill to die on too.
No, Mary. They just have a problem with you. Just you, Mary. It's all just you. Take a radical feminist stance, Miss B. Stunning. Brave, powerful move there. What kind of humans are we? We're the ones who work and pay taxes so you can live. Real Donovan Schultz said, what kind of 36-year-old woman sells her dignity for the price of a large Frosty from Wendy's? Oh, God. James Clark. Oh, shut the fuck up, James. Actually, no. Screw it. I'm just going to read it in his voice. You make really good and sensible points in your videos. Best wishes. Don't worry about it. It's their problem. I'm sorry they're doing this crap to you, but I am happy you're as strong as you are. Stay strong. You're a good person. I heartily endorse this connection. I heartily endorse this connection. James, you must sacrifice your TP. You must sacrifice the TP, your TP to appease the almighty bunghole. For there is only one bunghole. You must give your TP. Bungholio.
Isn't Adonis Paul near 40 years old?
Yes.
You're 40 years old and still tit shaming.
No, we're just shaming your tits. He likes tits that are firm and perky. Why else do you think he shows clips of Liz Rage on his why else do you think he shows those strippers on his late night show? Even though the nipples are taped up, why else do you think he shows clips of big titted cosplayers like Liz Rage and Amaranth in one of his clips? He's a motherfucker of culture. And clearly, you're a dirty, homeless, you're a dirty scumbag. I mean, dude, he made a cruel he made a cool rendition of you for the animated segments. And it basically looks similar to how you look like right now. Except less mayo in your hair. Oh shit.
Imagine. Can you?
No.
I mean, honestly. Do you want to be 40 years old and still shaming women's breasts?
Yes.
What kind of a man does that? What kind of
a man who appreciates boobies. A man who appreciates boobies and is disgusted at those bags you call breasts.
What kind of a woman does that? What kind of a human does that?
Honestly, that's gonna do it for tonight. I honestly don't have more patience to go through any of her other shit. So that's gonna conclude for tonight's Merry Sunday stream. That'll conclude it for tonight's stream. I'm sorry it went on for 3 hours, but what do you expect from someone like Adrastia? This is my Christmas gift to most of my people. As you will know, Christmas is this Saturday, and I just want to give you guys a little gift. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a Christmas stream on Christmas Eve. Probably before TGR does theirs. Or maybe I'll do one the day before. Who knows? We're going to be festive all week. Anyways, That's going to do it for tonight. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for showing up. Going through these videos is a really, really trying time. And honestly, I do this because I love you guys. I do this so that you can make better decisions and not be this type of person. And if you like this shit, please hit that damn like button. Let me know you care. Share my shit. Share this shit around to get everyone in on the fun. If you're feeling generous, I have a PayPal. The link is in the chat, as well as in the description. Once again, I thank my buddies. I thank Platty. I thank the Batman for being here. I thank Platty. And most of the people who put up with Adrastia. I thank you guys for having to put up with her crazy shit. I also want to thank Adonis Paul, Royce Lopez, JJ Stoner, Virgie, and Hatman for covering this creature who calls herself a woman. I'm saying, and yes, I'm being a bit immature just by saying that she's a creature. But she doesn't even act human. Anyway, like I said, that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. But I'm not gonna leave you guys empty-handed. You know me. You know I don't leave you guys empty-handed. As a treat for everyone. Because, well, it's tradition. It's tradition that I end every Merry stream with a video that was made by Adonis Paul called The Murder of Robuta Lulz. I play it at the end of every Merry stream just to let you guys know what kind of person we're dealing with. And then I'm going to end it off with Mayo Combat as the ending credits. Thank you to thank you for donating to my PayPal. The Batman or Platty. Thank you for supporting my channel, and be sure to get the word out. I want to get me to like 500 subscribers before the end of the year, so I can get a community tab. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. And that being said, I'm Rickzilla, and I say this to you guys. Good night. And I say good night to you guys. And happy holidays. Anyway, let's get to the murder of Roberta Lulz.
Oh! Mary, why are you doing that to me? You were my best friend.
I'm sorry. I had to do it so me and Kenneth could be together.
You were sleeping with my fiancé?
Yes, I've been sleeping with him, but it's only because you want me to hurt myself. You were trying to push me to hurt myself by having cerebral palsy, making me sad every day.
No!
And now you have to die.
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Why is there a cat in here?
That's Smokey! That's my cat and I love him! That's why I had to kill him like everything I love.
Why are my dogs in here? I'm not a murderer. Boo.
You'll die in that hole
Boo.
from exposure.
Boo.
I didn't do it! I didn't do anything!
No!
You made me do this! You made me do this by being engaged to the man that I love!
Hey, that's not right.
I'm sorry I didn't have my pooping bowl.
No!
Now that you're gonna be gone, I can poop anywhere I want.
Please don't poop in my bowls.
How am I gonna fill in this hole?
God damn it, stupid fucking woman, use a shovel. I already choked the bitch, you can't get rid of the body.
But sweetheart, we don't have a shovel.
Oh, hell. Get in the truck, time to go to Walmart.
Remember, this was self-defense because you were trying to get me to hurt myself. Bye!